Hello everyone! This is Sorry and Target welcoming you back to another video talking about Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt, where today we are going to be brainstorming some sexual dimorphism and varying color morph ideas for the 6 original huntable dinosaurs in the game. Yes, I know. In 2023, Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt has been pretty much abandoned by the developers, as they have swapped over to focus work on their flagship game, Mutant Football League, and are trying to keep themselves safe over in Ukraine. However, as for the reason I made this video, I did something interesting the other day. I downloaded a mod for Dinosaur Hunt, a classic Carnivores 2 reskin of the Gallimimus by Zerer. And it just got me back in the mindset of thinking about the possibilities and the what-ifs and the fully realized potential this game could have had. So if you're like me and want to get sad talking about ideas that are never gonna happen, that's what we're gonna do today. So, full disclosure, I came up with these concept ideas that we're going to be talking about today a little over a year ago when Dinosaur Hunt was still being worked on, as the developers, Digital Dreams, have since put the game on indefinite hold to work on other games and, as mentioned, keep themselves safe with the situation going on in Ukraine. Now, I did pitch these concepts to the developers and showed them off in the Carnivore Saga Discord server, and I had planned to make a video on them at the time, but then when we got Dinosaur Hunt's first lame DLC pack and the game stopped updating, this topic kinda felt like an irrelevant, meaningless moot point. However, with the very recent spark of modding Dinosaur Hunt, my interest in this topic has kinda been rekindled. So, as a fun, hypothetical discussion video, we are going to talk about some more Dinosaur Hunt concepts. A big part of what makes a modern hunting game like Call of the Wild so replayable is the variety in the animals that you can find. Many male and female animals sport differences in size, color, or ornamentation, and different fur or plumage types help provide endless hunting opportunities when seeking trophies of a specific type, color, sex, or size. This sheer amount of variety and replayability is what keeps players coming back to Call of the Wild, why it's the pinnacle, the gold standard of a modern hunting sim. And it's something that Dinosaur Hunt is severely lacking. And if the game was ever going to survive in the long run, it desperately needed it. So today, we're going to brainstorm some fun, hypothetical concepts that could have helped Dinosaur Hunt improve and maybe even kept it alive. The first huntable dinosaur in the game is the Stocky Stegosaurus, a traditionally robust and bulky herbivore, something the in-game model captures decently, but I think could be expanded upon with some sexual dimorphism. I think the default Stego model could serve well as a female variant, while a male could be larger and darker in coloration, with bulkier proportions and more imposing plates and spikes, really giving off the feel of an aggressive bull in full rutting display mode. And in addition to the variety between male and female dinosaurs, I've also conceptualized 6 unique color pattern concepts for each of the main huntable dinosaurs in-game, 3 uncommon skins and 3 rare skins, with the names for each skin being taken directly from different real-life reptile color morphs, and the actual colors being loosely inspired by the names. So, kinda working backwards with this concept, but I think it gets the job done. And of course, these are all just simple, hypothetical, photo-bashed concepts that I came up with to better visualize what some more dinosaur variety could look like, if the game ever did actually get any sort of real dinosaur variety. It wouldn't have to look like my concepts here. The first uncommon Stegosaurus skin that I designed is a deep, rustic purple morph, nicknamed Mojave, reflecting the bruised purples of a desert sunset, with pale stone gray plates and accenting of the ridges along the body. The next uncommon Stegosaurus skin is a rich cinnamon color, lighter and more saturated than the standard brown of the common variant, with males sporting darker, copper-colored plates as compared to the females. And the final uncommon Stegosaurus skin I designed would be based on the original carnivore stego skin, with light yellows and browns topped with a green dorsal stripe and a brown tail, all in the shadow of mesmerizing crimson plates. I've designed the third uncommon skin for each dinosaur, nicknamed Jungle, to be based on the dinosaur's coloration as it appears in the original Carnivores games. So this Jungle skin is a trend that we'll see moving forward with these concepts. The first rare Stegosaurus skin I designed would be a leucistic morph, and with leucism being a partial loss of pigmentation in the skin, this variant would be a chalky, pale coloration, and I like the idea of leucism on the dinosaur planet, giving the affected animals blue eyes. The next rare stego skin would be a melanistic morph. With melanism being in excess of melanin pigmentation, this skin would be all black, a very bold and striking prize indeed. And the final rare Stegosaurus skin would be a stark white albino morph, complete with pink eyes and extremities. Now, admittedly, this specific concept that I've put together here is perhaps a bit too white. Some more pale yellows and pinks I think would help it seem a little more natural. But an albino Stegosaurus would make for quite the impressive trophy on an otherwise commonplace dinosaur. The next huntable dinosaur in the game is the armored Ankylosaurus, which admittedly was a very tricky dinosaur to conceptualize notable gender differences for. Although it wouldn't make much sense from a more natural, logical perspective, I thought one cool differentiation method would be to add some additional armor plating down the arms and another row of spikes along the necks of the males, to help them stand out as grizzled fighters defending territories and competing for mates. However, since defensive structures like scoots and spikes are typically present on both sexes for defense instead of display, for some more natural variety, another method would be to perhaps make all of the males' cranial armor red, with the females using the default Ankylosaurus skin, which only features red along the very bottom row of armor on the head, as a nice, easy, and quick way to distinguish male from female. The first uncommon Anky skin I designed would be a rusty reddish-brown color morph, nicknamed Pewter, taking a cue from Reborn's mutant Ankylosaurus color scheme, and perfect for blending into more desert-oriented environments. The next uncommon Anky skin would be a deep blue color morph, nicknamed Coral, boasting more orange-tinted armor plating to complement the coastal blue body coloration. And the uncommon Jungle skin would homage the Carnivores 2 Ankylosaurus color scheme, featuring the original's pinkish head, blue body, and green carapace. The first rare Anky skin would be a leucistic morph, featuring pale, desaturated colors and soft blue eyes. The next rare Anky skin would be a melanistic morph, all black and accented with stone gray armor plating. And the final rare Anky skin would be an albino morph, covered in pale yellows and off-whites, all tipped with the notable pink extremities. The next huntable dinosaur in the game is the fleet-footed Parasaurolophus, which, as an already flashy, decorated dinosaur, gives plenty of natural sexual dimorphism options. The most obvious differentiations on a dinosaur like this would be in the head crest. So I thought the males could assume the long crest of the default para model, while females could take on a shorter, more curved crest, similar to the Parasaurolophus species Cyrtocrystatus, which has occasionally been speculated as simply being a female of the Parasaurolophus type species Walkeri, or possibly even Tubicin. Males could also boast a broader beak and thicker body proportions, as well as keep the distinctive orange dorsal stripe as another showy display, something the females could lack for a more tame appearance. The first uncommon para skin I designed is a smoky red coloration dubbed the Fire Morph, with the crest and dorsal stripe on the males boasting a deep crimson flare. The next uncommon paraskin would be a black and white morph nicknamed Ghost, with the white stripe and black crest of the male complementing the dinosaur's base dark patterns along the body and limbs. And of course, the uncommon jungle morph would homage the classic Carnivores paracoloration, with rich mahogany browns countershaded by a creamy yellow underside. The first rare Parasaurolophus skin would be a leucistic morph, primarily a dull golden coloration, while retaining the para's distinctive black patterning, all accompanied by milky blue eyes. The next rare paraskin would be a melanistic morph, all jet black with dark brown highlights, and however improbable this idea may be, I thought some green eyes on the melanistic para would really pop visually. And the final rare paraskin would be an albino, egg white in color with pale yellows and pinks, giving some subtle variety in the absence of the para's usual striped patterns. The next huntable dinosaur in the game is the carnivorous Ceratosaurus, another dinosaur boasting some fun display options for interesting sexual dimorphism. I've envisioned the males boasting the bright red hide of the default Cerato skin, with a larger size, broader limbs, and taller, sharper horns, helping differentiate them from the females, which could use the default Cerato model, just in duller colors. I thought it would also be neat to give the male Cerato a large, spiked dewlap, to give them that grizzled, stocky appearance that I personally associate with Ceratosaurus. The first uncommon Cerato skin I designed is a light brown morph, appropriately dubbed Chocolate, similar to my hypothetical default female Cerato skin, with a lighter cream-colored underside for contrast. The next uncommon skin would be a vibrant orange tiger coloration, as a simple, subtle complement to the common Cerato's bright red coloration. And of course, the uncommon jungle skin would homage the classic Carnivores 2 Ceratosaurus, with a yellow-green hide decorated with dark brown tiger stripes. A skin that has actually been modded into the game before, and I think looks fantastic. The first rare Cerato skin would be a leucistic morph, featuring those light blue eyes and a pale gray body while retaining the iconic tiger stripes. The next rare Cerato skin would be a melanistic morph, this time borrowing from the melanistic para's bright green eyes for a bit of color contrast, and I think this combo looks exceptionally cool on the male variant. And the final rare Cerato skin is actually not an albino morph, but a similarly colored variant dubbed Lemon. Now, this color morph concept was exceptionally difficult to execute, and I'm still not happy with how my depiction here turned out. The basic idea was for the main body to be a light peach color with creamy yellow stripes and countershading, like a companion skin to a traditional albino morph. But my lack of photo bashing skills betrays me here, and I think my execution of the idea leaves a lot to be desired. The penultimate huntable dinosaur in the game is the tanky Triceratops, another dinosaur whose anatomy allows for lots of fun sexually dimorphic variation. I'd imagine the males would be larger than the females, boasting a bright reddish head with striking blue eyes. An inspiration taken from Reborn's mutant Triceratops, because let's face it, those mutant variations should have just been male and female variants. As well as longer brow, nose, and jugal horns, maybe even with some horns being uneven in length or broken off for some more variety. An option I thought would be fun to experiment with would be giving the males spiked hornlets along the frill's edge for display, as seen in younger Triceratops fossils, while the female frills could remain smooth and rounded, as seen in more mature Triceratops fossils. The first uncommon trike skin I designed is a light tan morph nicknamed Vanilla, accented with light yellow osteoderms down the back and off-white countershading underneath. Males would boast a dark maroon head coloration, giving them a striking, contrasting visual appeal. The next uncommon trike skin is a dark morph dubbed Sunset, with females sporting a dark gray hide counter-shaded with an off-white, and males boasting a jet black hide with a vibrant orange counter-shading, evoking the last glimmer of a harsh desert sunset on the horizon as the shadowy night sky descends from above. And of course, the uncommon jungle skin would harken back to Burian's own Triceratops coloration. Rich browns and green stripes, now complemented by the reboot male trike's red head and piercing red eyes. The first rare trike skin would be a cool blue-gray morph nicknamed Lavender, really hammering home the Triceratops' reputation as a stone-cold, armored fortress of a dinosaur, with males sporting a darker cranial coloration than the females. The next rare trike skin would be an alternative to the traditional melanistic morph, dubbed Gray, a dark gray variation with a lighter, skull-like pattern on the males' heads. And the final rare trike skin would be the traditional albino morph. And although my render here suffers from the same problems as my albino Stegosaurus render, something about seeing the monstrous Triceratops decked out in white and pink feels truly rare and rewarding to obtain. And the final huntable dinosaur in the game is, of course, the tyrant lizard king Tyrannosaurus, which already features a near perfect 90s depiction model in my opinion, but one that I think can be taken a step further with some more sexual dimorphism. I'd imagine the females actually being larger and bulkier this time around, with a boxier skull and less prominent brow horns, while the males would be smaller and a bit leaner, with a narrower skull, more prominent brow horns, and a ridged upper snout as seen in other, smaller tyrannosaurids like Elyramus, to give the males just a bit more dramatic flair. I'd also imagine the males being a deep reddish color for show, and to help symbolize their fast, aggressive appearance, as opposed to the brown female's larger, more robust look. The first uncommon Rex skin I designed is an axanthic morph, with axanthism being a mutation that interferes with an animal's ability to produce yellow pigment, turning the once rich brown reboot Rex into a light gray in color, while males still boast a little red around their head horns. The next uncommon Rex skin is a dark gray morph dubbed Phantom, homaging Reborn's mutant Rex skin, complete with the bone-white skull pattern adorning the male's top jaw. And the uncommon jungle variant would homage the classic Carnivores Rex's jungle green hide, which would make getting a male jungle skin Rex and a female common skin Rex a nice reference to the Lost World's iconic Rex couple in anyone's trophy room. The first rare Rex skin would be a deep blue morph dubbed Pastel, with males sporting a brilliant golden head inspired by Charles Knight's beautiful rendition of a Tyrannosaurus crowned in the same colors. The next rare Rex skin would be a striking red and white morph nicknamed Clown, using a similar palette as an albino morph while playing on the Rex's natural striped patterning for a more eye-catching look. And the final rare Rex skin would be an ominous black and gold morph known as Enchi, a mutation that brings out the rich orange and yellow pigments while emphasizing darker colors in a strikingly royal way. Alright, so there you go guys. If Digital Dreams incorporated some kind of variety system like this into Dinosaur Hunt, with just some slight model tweaks and simple palette swaps, the game could instantly add over 80 possible dinosaur variety combinations to keep players hunting day in and day out. Of course, it's unlikely that we'll ever see anything like this added to Dinosaur Hunt, so be sure to let me know what kind of dinosaur variety you guys would have liked to see, or have always wanted to see, down in the comments section below. Thanks as always for watching guys, you are all truly the best, and I will see you guys next time.